Hey, off the dribble, we're back with another video, and today's video I'm back with my co-host Chris. Say hello to everyone.
I'm ready.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the amazing game that was the Bucks versus Celtics yesterday, and yeah, I'm just gonna talk about my few points I had on the game, and you just talk about what you have to say afterwards. So, Giannis was great. Giannis and Jrue Holiday were great. Obviously, Jrue Holiday picked it up in the second half, and obviously near the end of the game, he had that three-pointer that he hit when Jaylen Brown was sagging off of him, and he hit that three. And then, obviously, at the end, Marcus Smart, people are going to criticize him because, like, oh, why would Marcus Smart take that shot, yada, yada, yada. So, on the inbounds, I think Derek White inbounded to Marcus Smart, and he was going across the baseline, and he had a good angle on Pat Connaughton, but Jrue Holiday helped and immediately just swatted that out, and he threw the ball off of Marcus Smart, and basically that was a done deal at that point. Afterwards, Pat Connaughton hit 2 clutch free throws, which he doesn't get enough credit for at all. No one's talking about that. Pat Connaughton hit both free throws. He doesn't get talked about enough for hitting those 2. And yeah, afterwards, Jrue Holiday had that steal. People are going to say like, oh, why didn't they just pass to Jason Tatum? Jason Tatum was open. What I noticed about that play is that Wesley Matthews tripped on that play. Jason Tatum and Derek White, basically Giannis had to cover both of them because Derek White was unaccounted for because Wesley Matthews tripped. He's back in the backcourt, so everyone has to go forward. So Jason Tatum, obviously, would have been covered by Giannis if he wanted to get that help over there. But then Derek White would have been open. So people are like, oh, why did you pass to Jason Tatum? Well, Giannis was there. Like, Giannis would have at least got a great contest or have blocked the shot if he had the time, because the time was like, I think like 4 seconds left or whatever it was. So it was, Marcus Smart gets a lot of criticism for stuff that he did, even though he could have made better decisions, but at the same time, it's like, okay, Jrue Holiday was just a demon defensively. He got that steal at the end of the game, he stole the ball, and that was essentially the game. Also, Bobby Portis doesn't get talked about enough. Because remember, yeah, exactly, because when Giannis missed that second free throw, I was scared because I was like, okay, Giannis has to make both of these free throws. Like, we're worst case, it's going to be, the Bucks are going to be down by 1. But he made the first free throw, missed the second free throw. But Bobby Portis, of all people, got the rebound and got the putback, and therefore, the Bucks led by 1. I remember Jason Tatum also got fouled too. And that was before the Pat Connaughton free throws, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, there's like the unsung heroes, Bobby Portis and Pat Connaughton, that's in that sequence. But Giannis was amazing too. Obviously, Robert Williams not playing Giannis is going to be effective regardless, but I think that Robert Williams not playing had a little effect. So instead of going like for 40, it could have been like 36 on like a little less efficiency. But Giannis was amazing. He was going to be show out no matter what defense you throw at him. And that's what I appreciated. Because like they're showing, I forgot what stat it was, but like they're showing like the percentage KD shot against like the Celtics. I think it was like 38% or something like that. Like Giannis is doing like much better than that. It's like 47% on like the difficult shots. Remember, Giannis does a majority of his work in the paint. So the fact that like they know he's coming there, they know how to try to stop him, but they can't stop him. That just shows pure dominance and like how crazy it is that a number 1 option is beating the second seed in his conference without his second best option, and he's somehow pulling it off like nothing. There's no resistance or anything like that. And they could pull off in 6 games, like against the best defense in the league. That's just sensational to see. So you can just talk about the points you have about the game before we talk about what we think what's going to happen in Game 6.
Let me give my bag real quick. First of all, Giannis is, I think, is definitively, like, you know, not without question the best player in the league right now.
Sure, yeah, for sure.
Definitely the longest, most athletic nigga in the league, for sure. Did you see that and one? Dr. J. Who? It's Dr. Antetokounmpo. Yeah. Fuck is he talking about? That nigga, bro, I didn't even think it was physically possible for him after the bump to get to the other side of the rim, and then he actually put the spin, and I was like, ooh, that's kind of finesse. Yeah, I don't know if he took it personal or not. I would have taken it personally if I was Giannis, but they really thought Al Horford could stop it. But yeah, no, they were literally doing the 1-to-1 substitution where every time Giannis came in, they brought in Al Horford and they had him be the primary defender for the entire game. For whatever reason, they stopped trying Grant Williams, they stopped trying Jason Tatum. They're like, nah, Al Horford, you're just guarding him. And yeah, that shit ain't work. That shit ain't work. All right. Who do I want to talk about next? Marcus Smart, everybody, like, they're going to give him a lot of flack, but he made a lot of plays. He made some big threes. He got that charge on Giannis. I thought the game was over after that charge, honestly. Because the Bucks were down, I think, 6 at that point, and then the Celtics had the ball after they called the charge on Giannis. So I was like, I thought it was rats. But then the savior of the day, Drewski Hollandavius. he got that snatch block on Marcus Smart to save, which was looking like it was going to be a layup, because I forgot what the hell happened, but Pat Connaughton ended up like closing out super hard on Marcus Smart, so he was able to get that lane. I don't know if he just fell asleep, but like watching the play, it didn't like there was no like off ball screen or whatever. Like you just fucked up. And Marcus Smart just blew by him, and yeah, Jrue saved. Not only did he get the snatch block, which a guard getting the snatch block is crazy, and then like the presence of mind to throw it off of Marcus Smart before he fell out of bounds was that was an A1 play. And then the steal, you could argue maybe it was a foul. You know, he hit his hand a little bit, but well, one, a lot of the times they don't call stuff like that, and two, even if they fouled, he makes both free throws. The Bucks are still up one. Probably, you know, it just goes back and forth for a little while, and the Bucks end up, you know, closing it out at the free throw line. But another thing, I don't know if you remember, it was also in the fourth quarter that Derek White blocked Jrue. Oh yeah. So that's why I want to really give credit to Jrue, because he was out there fucking up for a little while. Like the second and third quarter, he was doing. I don't know why he was posting up every play. I was like, damn, like I thought he was a guard. Like he was posting up, breaking layups, and then finally he got it going when he made that. Like he drove baseline, he bumped Jason Tatum, got that layup, and then I think maybe a couple possessions later, he drove on Derek White, and like in one of the review angles where Derek White blocks it. And in one of the angles, you could see like Jrue, so I forgot who it was that was helping out the court. I think it was Grant Williams. You could see him like smack Drew's arm, like clear as day. And Jrue looks dead at the ref and still goes up for the layup. Like he looks at the ref and then starts laying the ball up afterwards. So I don't know. I thought it was like crazy, like how quickly players process, like especially elite guards process information on the court. Like he's driving, there's a defender on him, he's looking at the help defense, he got fouled, then he immediately looks at the ref, like finds where the ref is at the court, looks dead at him like he fouled me, and then still tries to, you know, find the focus to go up for that layup afterwards to try to potentially get an and one. Like that was crazy to me. Even though on paper he just got his shit blocked, but if you actually like paid attention to that was like really, really impressive to me. So yeah, I don't know if there's any big takeaways from the game other than Giannis is definitively the best player in the league. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember now. Jaylen Brown was going off, I think, at the end of the third, right? End of the third or start of the fourth? Yeah, end of the third.
It's third quarter.
He made that step back three, like that contested step back three, and then Giannis immediately in transition, he switched to three.
Yeah,
and
exactly. I was gonna
Jeff Van Gundy, that nigga is the biggest hater I've seen in my life, bro. Every time Giannis shot a three, he's like, he's bailing the Celtics out. He doesn't make shots like that, bro. He was sounding like Skip Bayless out there, bro. He was hating, bro. He was like, he takes 4 of those a game. I was like, why is he acting like 4 is a lot? Like he's shooting half his field goal attempts from the three. That's not what he's doing. Every once in a while he'll shoot a three, but like 80% of the time he's driving. I think it's pretty reasonable, especially if, I mean, Giannis is still a pretty bad shooter, but he shoots around 30%. I think it's pretty reasonable to take like one out of every 5 or 6 shots, take a three. I don't think that's crazy. And then like
just keep the defense honest.
Yeah. And on top of that, he made that three to like break the momentum, because Celtics had all the momentum. Jaylen Brown had scored like 4 straight times, and then he made the clutch three to put him back down 3 off the offensive rebound. When I think it was Wesley Matthews, right? Wesley Matthews got the offensive rebound, kicked back to Giannis at the top of the key, and then there was like I think 2-ish minutes left, or maybe 2.5 minutes left in the game at that point. So
I think it was like a minute, a minute barely and change to go. I think because
really?
that was mainly after. Because
you're right.
Jrue Holiday hit the three. Jrue Holiday hit the three after. So yeah.
No, yeah. Giannis hit the three first, and then Jrue hit the one to tie.
Yeah, Jrue Holiday. Yeah, it was a Giannis steal that led to the Jrue Holiday 3 too. So a lot of people don't talk about that too. It's a Giannis steal that led to that Jrue Holiday 3.
Yeah, but I said, did I say Stan? Yeah, it was Stan. Okay, yeah, it wasn't Jeff. It was Stan. Yeah, Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've talked about this like so many times before. Like the same people that are always talking shit about Westbrook and Giannis for shooting threes. Westbrook more understandably because he takes way more than Giannis and shoots worse, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But those same people that talk about them are the same ones that shit on Ben Simmons for not even attempting.
Exactly. Yeah. So, last thing I'll make about the Bucks before we move on to predictions for Game 6. So, when I texted you yesterday saying like, "Oh, Giannis, this is like one of the most quiet 40-point games you'll see," and like obviously we felt his presence in the game. Like we saw the buckets that he scored. I only said that is because it was way more than just the game was way more than just, oh, Giannis did well, Jrue Holiday did well. There's so many factors that influenced the impact of that game. And speaking about the Celtics front, like Jason Tatum and like Jaylen Brown had like the quietest like 30-point like games you'll see too. Because like yes, they had big games, but it got overshadowed by everything that happened in the final minute of the game because they were kind of non-factors in that stretch. Outside of the 2 free throws that Jason Tatum knocked down, because like you said, Jaylen Brown had 16 points in the third quarter. Yeah, he was going crazy. He was like, I think 6 of like 7 in the third quarter. He was going crazy. Like you said, in the setbacks, mid-range, he was killing it. Jason Tatum hit clutch threes. He had a lob to Jason Tatum where it was like the crowd was getting hyped that put them up like 13 or 11. Like the crowd is getting hyped. All the momentum was in their favor, but then everything shifted once it got to like the final few minutes of the game where it's like, okay, Milwaukee's starting to make a comeback here. There's that Pat Connaughton 3 where he hit it, where they hit him on the arm, but they didn't call anything, and he still hit that 3. A lot of factors, like we said, the Connaughton, the Jrue Holiday, the Bobby Portis putback, like all that stuff played a huge factor in the Bucks winning it at the end. So, given no updates on Robert Williams' condition, we're just going to try to make predictions for Game 6 right now. What do you think is going to happen? And are the Bucks going to end the series, or is it going to get extended to Game 7?
Yeah, I think it might be wraps for the Celtics. Because that, like, especially considering the fact that it doesn't look like Robert Williams is going to be back next game, which I don't know. I don't see the Bucks losing this one out. I think they close this one out. And also I saw the stat, which I mean I understand it, like it makes sense, but I didn't know it was that bad. Like 85%. Yeah, 85% of Game 5 winners win the series. So it's pretty much a wrap. But yeah, especially this one going back to Milwaukee. Even still, Jrue didn't shoot great from the field. I don't think he's had a great shoot. He still shot like 40% from the field. So like, if he shoots well, like next game, it might really be a wrap. Even Bobby Portis, he didn't shoot that great. Grayson Allen has been ass since the start of the second round.
They were targeting him defensively too. Jaylen Brown was.
Yeah, Grayson Allen. Yeah. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that. Maybe they'll give him less minutes.
I agree with that. I don't think that the Bucks are going to let this slip by. I completely agree that they will close it out. I think Giannis is always going to have a great game. That's not going to ever be in question. I expect Jrue Holiday to be great again, as he is. He's instrumental in every single game. It's just like what impact he has varies per game to game. Yeah, his value is so underrated. No one really puts him in groups him in among the top point guards in the league, which is funny to me. But yeah, I agree the Bucks are gonna close it out. But okay, but before we wrap up this video, we have to talk about briefly Warriors versus. So Warriors got waxed after Steph before the game said that the game plan is to whip that trick, and damn, they got bodied. 50 piece. They got 50 piece in this game. I know they lost by 39, but they're up by 50. Yeah, without Ja, it was 106 to 56. It was crazy. Without Ja in the lineup, they're still able to blow out the Warriors that bad. I mean, it's more so just talking about what happened in the game, because obviously the Grizzlies, they were hitting their shots. The Warriors couldn't get anything to go. And obviously Steve Kerr not being with the team is obviously playing a factor in this whole thing. And the Kings better reconsider that Mike Brown hiring. They might just fire him right now. Does this loss change your perception of the Warriors?
Up until last game, though, in this series, Otto Porter, Will Chamberlain's son, was going crazy.
Yeah.
He was shooting 80% from three. I don't know why the Warriors. Steve Kerr decided to start Kuminga last game over Otto Porter, especially after what he saw in game, I think 3. I guess it still worked out. They still ended up winning game 4. But it ended up being Otto Porter still ended up playing way more minutes. They just brought him off the bench later on.
I guess the thing we have to talk about is whether the Grizzlies have any chance to make this a 3-1 comeback against the Warriors. And we're not even going to talk about what that means for Steph and that Big Three's legacy if that happens again. Like, if you blow a 3-1 lead in the second round to a Grizzlies team without their best player in a year where you should be the favorites to win the championship based off the current teams left and injuries to other teams, that's unforgivable. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Do you think the Grizzlies could actually pull it off, in your opinion?
The only way I see them pulling it off is if Ja comes back, and even then, that's still a bit of a stretch. I think the Warriors will probably bounce back in Game 6 and, close the series out. But I wanted to go to 7. No, I wanted to go to 7. I wanted to go to 7. This is good. Okay, scared. Other than last game, every other game before that has been a great game. Appreciate y'all, love y'all. See y'all next time. Peace.